Hello everyone, this is Priyam from Team Miss Malini, and hanging out with talented people is my favorite thing to do, so that's what I'm doing today. So Shad Singh Rajput in the house. Hello.
First time.
First time.
Thank you so much for having me.
I have waited so long for this moment. I'm very glad this is happening.
Are you telling the truth?
Absolutely.
Wow, I'm so interested now in the conversation.
Okay, so MS Dhoni, it's one of Saal ki sabse anticipated movies. Everyone's looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So I want to know, you've done another biopic before this, Bomkesh Bakshi. Yeah. So when you're playing a real life person, is it easier because ready reference hai, ek live reference, or is it tough because comparison hoga, there's already a person like that?
I don't think like that. I don't think about nobody when I'm actually choosing a film to do and when I'm actually shooting for it. So it's very personal, you know. That's why for the first time when I was in my engineering college, I thought to become an actor. Was this the why of doing this is very personal, because normally in my general life I am very boring and I cannot express. So there's that handicap, and so I counter that in front of the camera or on stage when I'm actually saying that don't judge me because I'm the character, but I say things that I want to say. So that's like that thing. So yeah, so I was not thinking about nothing, but I was aware of it. And so there are few things that you need to take care when you are playing a character that already audience or people have a reference of. So the main thing that as an actor what we do is to convince ourselves that we are the character on the first day of the shoot. So we have to prepare like that. That's the intent of the preparation. But so that's the same if you're doing a fictional character or somebody who's still playing a biopic. But yeah, I realized that I could be acting well in the film and playing good cricket, but I could still be not convincing if I don't remind you of him, if already because you know about it. So there are things, the nuances and the body language and the skill, the cricketing skill that needed to be taken care of, because I have to be like him completely. So yeah, I did that.
Which I was just getting to, you have worked out like a mental person for this film. Kya scene hai ye? Your Instagram is just one workout of the other. These are not humanly possible workout things.
You're talking about those Instagram videos? Oh, that's for another film, Rabta, that I was doing.
Okay, but even for Dhoni, like I saw the making of videos, and this is not a normal person preparation. Like, what's up?
But this is what we are supposed to do. Normally, people tell me, "Oh, you got the body language right, and you grow your hair, and I could see that nuance, man. That's so good." Like, excuse me, we're supposed to do that. I mean, like, it's nothing that's very good in us. It's as an actor, and those things are relatively easy than to figure out the character.
Like the physical, you're saying?
No, the physical thing. Yeah. Even I'll go to an extent of saying to cultivate a new skill, like playing cricket. It was batting and wicket keeping for 12-13 months, every day for 5-6 hours, on a bowling machine for like 200 shots every day for the same shot, with Kiran More and with an analyst, with a physio. But this is again relatively easy than to figure out the man and understand him, identify the difference, and then become like that. That's the tricky. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes it does.
From the trailer, I feel like it has happened. So while you were figuring out this man, was there anything that surprised you about MS Dhoni? Because everyone has loved him for years. Obviously, he's a talented man. He's amazing. He's very nice in person. I've met him once. Yeah. So was there anything that you thought, "Ki, ye to kafi cool baat hai," that you didn't think earlier?
Yeah, of course, because there are things that people tell us when we are kids, and we think that, okay, this is just before saying. It doesn't happen like that. So there is a difference between, this is my personal experience, there's a difference between what we know and what we think we know. Yeah, and that difference, I realized that difference, that I knew all my life that it's very important to be in the present. Don't be in the future, don't be in the past, because those are intangible things. You can't do anything about it. Be here. If you are taking care of your present, future will be taken care of, and past will be very good. I knew it like inside out, but I was I was not concerned about the past that much. So that I was pretty much there as far as past is concerned. All my successes, all my failures, I just love them, because those experiences are very, very important to me. So I take full responsibility of that. But I somehow, incessantly, I used to fool myself that I'm in control of my future, and it works to an extent. But there is something else with it, which is contradiction. Like I'll tell you, and both the things we're showing in the film.
Okay.
Like I'll tell you that there's something called a dream. If you can dream something, and somehow you can convince yourself that it's going to happen, it will happen.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Power of the universe.
Yeah. So the same thing. I mean, like it manifests in front of you and all that. But the thing is, if you think that you will arrive somewhere and then you will consider yourself successful and then you'll be happy and then everything will get going, you will be extremely disappointed. Then what you'll be doing is to find another one, be myopic, find another goal, and then your entire life will go like that. So yeah, it is. So the trick is basically what he does is probably not even an iota of doubt about what's going to happen, but then and there you just leave it because you're convinced now. It's boring now, so you just leave it. You take that loan of happiness from the future in the present and use it if you want to. But the real happiness, the real excitement, which I feel is the closest synonym of happiness, is to be here doing something that just you are so much into it that you don't care how you look, what you're doing. You just don't care about yourself also. You're there, not here. In the moment. So I knew it, but I could not do it because I was there in the future. I used to draw flow charts and all that shit. But yeah, yeah, of course. But then it kind of dilutes the present. I'm not saying it doesn't work. It works, but it dilutes the present. If you're here 100%, if right now 12 days from now my film would release, but I'm not thinking about that. I'm just thinking of having a very good conversation with you. So yeah, so this is what I'm all interested in right now.
Okay, so I've actually always wanted to know from you that you're one of the very, very few television actors, quote unquote, who's made a very successful transition into Bollywood. So was that ever the plan, or was it something you worked towards?
It was not, because I was equally excited. This would be my 53rd character that I would play when I consider theatre, TV, and films. So when I used to get 200 rupees every show, and there were like 50 people coming in to watch that play, I was equally excited. एकदम सही, मतलब कि I was the king of in my head I was like the best guy, because that was my biggest fear of communication, and that was I was doing, and people were paying for it, and I was like, wow, you know that magician or the hypnosis, you feel it for the first time. So yeah, I was equally excited. Somehow they picked me for television. I was like, okay, I have never acted in front of a camera, so that will be a different experience. So I started doing that to a point that I knew already after 2 years. Every day I knew what I'm going to do. Then it gets boring. Of course, I was very, very famous then, and I used to make a lot of money. But yeah, I was very bored. So I quit. I was thinking of going somewhere else to do a filmmaking course, but fortunately I got Kai Poche. I was auditioned for it, and then I got it. So things happen, and I don't consider theatre to TV to films, this is the way to graduate as an actor. Of course, I can go back to TV. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about digital programs as well. I can do plays as well. So I do what I do. But we just exchange with live audience to the TV camera, to the film camera. But the fun that's there is the same.
Okay, so I actually, I think recently you also posted a picture that there was a time when you were a background dancer for film fair shows, when you were the Shamak troupe. And now you're cover star, Dilo Ki Dhadkan. Yeah, I mean, that's an incredible journey. Like, is there a moment where you just sort of, it hits you and you're like, wow, dude, काफी मतलब हो गया, सही चीज़ है.
And it's so easy. But the only thing is that if I tell you that this is the way to go, you'll say, it's one of the things. It's a fluke, maybe. Or you're just lucky you don't know, maybe. Because there are lots of people who work equally hard, they are expecting less money, and they are probably more talented. Why you? I'll tell you why me. Because I, first of all, I don't have not even a single doubt that's not going to happen, with the feeling that I am just not concerned about that. I'm just not concerned about what's going to happen.
At all.
And at the same time, also sure about what's going to happen.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a lot to take in. Okay, so while you were, so I actually read in some interview of yours that you said that when you were dancing for like these shows and all, you were put in the front not because you were a good dancer, because you had this hero wali quality.
Something. Shamak told me that. Shamak told me that, you know what, you I don't know, because you're not one of the finest, that I can say. But I still give you in the first line, because there is something in you. Now, I didn't want to discuss further. I just took it. I was like, done. And so then I thought, let's try theatre, because let's see if I'm good with words also. Hero wali baat. I got to know that I read many books before going to Barry John, and there was this Stanislavski book in which it was written that actors are not made, they are only trained. So I was very dara hua that what if I'm not an actor? But then I realized that I've been acting all my life. It's just that I was not getting paid for it. Now the only difference I do is that to act on command, and I get paid for it. Yeah. Bus.
Okay. So you, Sushant, are one of those actors that we don't see you a lot unless your movie is releasing. You're not around all over. We really only get to meet you when your picture aa rahi hoti hai. But then like of late there's lots of been speculation about your personal life, and there's been link ups and this that. How do you then ensure that the focus doesn't shift from your work? Because you, I know, always only talk about your work.
Yeah, because other than that, I'm very boring. Because I'll tell you very, very honestly, I just have 2 friends, and so I have 3 friends now, thankfully. But I just I cannot make friends. Not because I don't like people. I really like them, but they don't find my conversations very interesting. And so the first time they'll pretend to be liking me, but then they they don't take my calls. So yeah, so I don't have many friends. I know that it takes a lot to be exciting all the time. It takes a lot to make sense all the time, or at least pretend to be to pretend to know your shit, you know what you're saying all the time. So it takes a lot. And there's this saying that I completely I am with, and it says that if you know nothing, you say a lot. If you know something, what's there to say? So I'm with that thought.
Okay, so
yeah.
That's just, you don't deal with it too much. You're like, चलो ठीक है, कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे.
And precisely this is the reason why I act. Because जितनी भड़ास है मेरी, वो मैं कैमरा के सामने निकालता हूँ और परफॉर्मेंस में निकाल देता हूँ, और मैं बोलता नहीं, मैं नहीं हूँ, कैरेक्टर है. So yeah.
अच्छा plan है. Okay, so now your first movie Kai Poche was also about cricket. Now again cricket. You're now a pro. You can be the next coach basically. So I actually wanted to ask you if you could give me 3 things that a dummy cricket fan who goes to matches for peer pressure.
Only ask 3 things.
Because 5 ज़्यादा हो जाता है कभी.
एक
बहुत कम.
अच्छा. All right. 3 things for what?
3 things. For like someone like me who's dummy about cricket, the thing. So when you go for all these like matches, something to like show off knowledge कि धोनी का helicopter shot कितना सही है.
So there is a fielding position called silly point.
Silly point.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's another one called gully. So if somebody tells you gully, so don't think about the gully, but think about the fielding position.
Okay.
And you know the full form of LBW?
I want to say leg before wicket.
Wow. You've got that thing in you, man. You're like, you're almost there.
I grew up with just cricket fans, peer pressure. I had to.
Right.
Okay, and one more.
One more?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to love cricket to watch this film, because the film is not about cricket. The film is about the man and the story behind that, which is very, very interesting also.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And has there any, what's been the greatest, compliment you've gotten for really being this character? You've embodied it. You are starting to look like Dhoni a little bit.
Yeah, my director took, he hadn't seen any of my films. He spoke to me for 20 minutes and hired me. So I still don't have an idea why he did that, but again, I took it. And so that was the first compliment. And the second compliment was 4 to 5 months into the preparation, when I had a chance of meeting MS. And I, in a very nonchalant way, I was flaunting, I was showing him my training videos. And he's not that expressive. He'll tell you, good work. But he was looking at it with a smile. And then he said, wow, it feels like magic because I was not there. So that's huge.
That's amazing. So now you know you have to watch this. There is no other way. Before we just wrap up, a last message to all your fans of Miss Malini who are so excited about this film.
Yeah, because you don't have to be concerned of that. Like I said, you don't have to be concerned. Oh, I don't understand cricket, and maybe this film is on cricket. There was another film on cricket lately. So no, it's not about that. It's his story, and we're talking to each and every person, no matter where you're from, no matter what your circumstances are. But the same thing that I actually believed in my life, that if you can dream, if you have that ability, and if you somehow figure out a way, logically, if you can somehow convince yourself, that's going to happen. It happens.
That's amazing. If that does not convince you, I don't know what will. That's it from us. Thank you everyone for joining in.
If you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe.